Now that we know how many degrees make up figures, we can find missing angles. So let's look at a quadrilateral. You have to ask yourself, how many degrees does a quadrilateral have? You should all say 360. Now I know off the bat a perfect square has how many? What is the degree for each angle in a perfect square? It should be 90, right? 90 degrees for a regular square. Say I have a quadrilateral that is a rhombus or parallelogram. Okay, let's actually just start with a rhombus. Let's make this bigger. This will actually be a trapezoid. Decided to make a trapezoid. Why is it a trapezoid? Because these two, there's a pair that are parallel and there's one pair that's not parallel. That makes this a trapezoid. Now since these are parallel, and I can see that this is straight, I know that this is 90, and I know this is 90. I also know that this trapezoid has to equal how many degrees? 360. So if I said this is angle X and Y should equal up to what? Well, I know that these two angles are right angles. So I already have 90 plus 90, which is 180. I also know that this trapezoid is 360 degrees. So if I already have 180 degrees from just this section, that means I can subtract from 360 to see how many is left for X and Y. So 360 minus 180 is 180. That means that X and Y have to equal 180. What kind of angle is X? You have to ask yourself. Say it obtuse, acute, straight. Remember the definition. This should be an obtuse angle because it appears to be greater than 90, and Y would be acute. So you picking your favorite number. Let's pick 120, for example. If X is 120, then what is Y going to be? Well, I know this is 180. I want to know what Y is, so I'm going to subtract the 120. And that means that Y is equal to 60. So now I found my missing angles. This is 120 degrees and Y is 60 degrees. Now let's look at a triangle. How many degrees encompass a triangle? 180. What kind of triangle is this? Isosceles triangle. And why is it isosceles? Because it has two congruent sides. So if these sides are congruent, This also means that the angles opposite are congruent, so that these are congruent. And these, remember, are the base angles, and this is the base. And here we have the vertex. So if I choose to say that this angle here, I'm only given this one angle, and I say that it is 70 degrees, that is enough information for me to find x and y. So first, what's the first angle that we know? If we know that this is 70, we know that y is also 70. 70 degrees equals y due to congruence. So now I have two angles. I know one is 70, and I know y is 70, and I know adding x is going to give me 180. So this becomes 140 plus x equals 180. How do we find the x? We subtract 140, and x equals 40 degrees. So now we found our x equals 40 and y equals 70. Stay tuned for more examples of finding missing angles.